What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Spooky Horror Show. I am your host, Sean, and I'm here with Anthony. Tonight, we will be reviewing and spoiling the 2019, or it released in 2020, but it's an American horror thriller, We Summon the Darkness, which was chosen by Anthony. It is written by Alan Trezza, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and directed by Mark Myers. It stars Alexandra Daddario, Johnny Knoxville, Maddie Hasten, Amy Forsyth, Logan Miller, I think his name is Kean Johnson, and Austin Swift. It premiered at the Mammoth Film Festival on February 28th, 2019. Later released digitally. What?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It says 2019 when it says it's released, but really it didn't.
Yeah, it was 2020. It released April 10th, 2020 on digital and demand by Saban Films. And Saban is, the Power Rangers people.
Yeah.
So it had a box office of $168,473 because I don't think it was released anywhere.
Yeah, I really don't know what is a good number for that. Like, whenever they say, "Oh, well, they had this release," I don't know if is that good. Like,
no.
I guess if it, I guess, right? Like, it sounds like a lot, but it doesn't sound like a lot. So it's like I don't really know.
Yeah. Before we get into our thoughts, how has your week been?
It's been kind of up and down, dealing with electrical shit in the fucking house, and kids wanting to be a dick at friggin' daycare. So,
other than that, truck's working. How's your? You said you Peter Griffin's your shin?
My God, yeah, dude. Well, no, but I'm taking a dash out this fucking Malibu right now. So, like on the bottom corner of the door, I was trying to move, so I like dragged my shin across that corner on the point. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. The dude that was helping, he's like, no, you just take a minute, dude. I was like, oh my God. And I did, like, you go to the ground and you go, ooh. Like one of those and then today I looked at it, I'm like, holy fucking hell, it looks like I got beaten by a fucking sack of fucking oranges. It's terrible. I was like, oh my God, dude, that's fucking terrible. But yeah, dude, that sucked.
No injuries for me this week. However, we did find a stray kitten on the porch.
Oh God.
So of course, the wife and kid being like super fucking animal lovers. Oh no, it did not come in the house. That we could clearly see that thing has fleas. But it looked kind of fucked up, so we put food and stuff out. So it was eating it, and then I saw a bigger cat come by, and I was like, "Is this cat coming to fucking eat it? Like eat the food?" And I was like, I don't know. It maybe it's like the mom. I don't fucking know. It's been gone for a couple of days, and the wife got home from work this morning. And like ran in and like started punching me in the shoulder. The kitten's back. There's so many more.
No.
There's so many more.
Oh no!
I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, what's going on?
So it led the other ones there.
The mama cat brought all of its kittens there. So she brought out wet food and dry food because the kittens are still young enough that they're still weaning. Like they're still like drinking milk and everything. So the mother cat ate a bunch of stuff, and it like the kittens were coming up and like rubbing on the kid and everything. And I was like, when you go inside, you need to. I was like, when you go inside, everything has to come off. You gotta shower. You don't know if they got any sort of disease. We definitely know they have fleas and everything, but it's like they're so young, and it's just like so long as they're safe, like we're fine. And then I got my internet fixed, so they can stop being dicks about that.
Yours made no sense. My shit has more fucking speed than yours does. And
yeah, I don't get it. Dumb. So I don't pay for gigabit service, but I have gigabit products, so I should have no problem with speeds. But no, all my shit is telling me to go fuck myself because things aren't configured right. But it's fixed now. I have my speeds back. I shouldn't have any more issues. But yeah,
always the problem with this.
Yep. Internet. You thought we should watch We Summon the Darkness. You watch it again today,
Yeah, like an
I
hour
watched
ago.
it. I watched it yesterday, so it's more fresh in your head. What are your spoiler-free thoughts?
To be honest, my wife had to let me know that I did watch it already. So just so you know, because I told her I was unsure. Oh shit, I was unsure when I picked it. So she's like, "Yeah, never mind." I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, yeah, we did watch this." I was like, "I thought I did." She's like, "Yeah, you don't remember it?" I was like, "Don't say anything because that's easier for me to watch it." She's like, "I know what happens, like what it is."
Yeah.
So you're good. I was like, "Ah, shit." So watching it, I mean, I picked it because of the two big actors, Alexia and whatever the fuck her last name is. Johnny
Alexandra
Knoxville.
Daddario and Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah. The premise sounded cool. I was like, okay, I can go with it. It seemed like it might have been a lesser film than what we've a lesser than a bigger film, but bigger than what we've been watching.
Yeah. What we've been watching has definitely been, except for The Void. The Void had like a lot of production value to make it look like really, really good, but everything else has been like very indie.
Yes. So I figured we'd put one in there. It lived up to more box office type of direction in directorial stuff. The acting isn't bad.
Yeah.
The plot line I think was fucking retarded. And overly done. I never liked these type of plot lines anyways. It's just a very common and you can foreshadow every other scene plot line. Yeah. And other than that, it's an okay movie. I really didn't enjoy it as much as I really thought I did after the trailer. A lot of these fucking movies, man, I'm tired of getting all the good parts in the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Suicide Squad, the first fucking one, the Maggie Robbie one. Well, she was in both of them, I think. But that one, there's like all the fucking cutscenes from the trailers were the best parts of the movies. We saw it in theaters. And I was like, I want my money back.
Yeah.
This is a fucking shitbox movie right now.
And that one wasn't even very good.
No,
the James Gunn one was leaps and bounds better.
So I was like, nah.
Yeah.
You know what it wasn't? Wait, you know what it wasn't?
What?
Gracefield incident.
Oh god, dude. I'm gonna actively search for one that's worse than the Gracefield incident.
I can see that.
I'm gonna search for one. I'll find one. I will scour
Tubi. In you to find that one. Yeah.
I will scour Tubi because that's the only place they'd put it. Cinematography was really like the movie was shot well.
Yeah.
The acting was really good. I only knew a couple of actors. But no, I obviously knew the movie. I love Johnny Knoxville. He's fucking hilarious.
He's versatile.
I have like the biggest crush on Alexandra Daddario.
Oh god,
not even for her body, not in like that, like her eyes.
No.
I love her eyes.
Yes. We'll get into those too because I have it like explained a lot of her scenes.
Yeah,
and she's in a lot of other horror films.
Yeah, and she was in
one of
yeah, she was in the was it supposed to be like a sequel? Like she was supposed to be like his little sister or like a cousin or some fucking stupid shit like that.
They were trying to say it was branching off the last movie, but it really wasn't branching off the last movie. That's new and they just did. It's fucking stupid. But yeah, she was in a Texas Chainsaw movie where she was supposed to be like the cousin.
And then the other two girls I've seen in a bunch of stuff.
I actually don't remember that. The one with the brows just killed me every fucking time.
The blonde?
Oh my god, those fucking caterpillars that died on her face.
Dude, I don't even care.
Sick.
She was so fucking good in this. She was
No, the acting was she did fucking phenomenal. I like her.
The eyebrows were a major thing.
Oh my god. Directly directed my vision and my thoughts
every time. But no, I genuinely felt like the acting was really good. The location was great. The music in it was great.
Yeah, it did have a good soundtrack.
I think the only thing was the script. I called what was gonna happen.
Oh, dude, you can call everything
within the first like 20 minutes. I knew, and I was just it kind of once you know what's happening, and there's still like I don't know, like 5/8 of a movie left. kind of sucks because it's like, all right, well, hopefully they'll do something to make it better, to like maybe flip it around. It's like, oh, it wasn't, but chances are they're not going to. And then they didn't. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But at least it looked good, and some of the kills were really cool. But I would definitely say people to watch it at least once. I would tell people to never watch the Gracefield incident. But, but definitely see we
right
some
over
of the
that one,
darkness.
free or not, to give somebody else money to not watch it for you.
Yeah,
just don't watch that movie.
But yeah, you ready to go into this plot?
Yeah.
So before we go into plot, this is your cue that we are about to spoil the shit out of the movie. When this movie started, did anything stick out to you? Like the 30 minutes of production company logos?
Yeah, and dude, in pure silence too. In pure silence. I thought like my volume didn't work. There was no silence. The movie's starting. Yeah.
Just silence, and then production company like logos and intros.
Yeah, after
like,
another. It seemed like it was really funded well, apparently. Like,
yeah, and it was like even after they finished showing like the logos and everything, and it went in and it started showing things, it was still giving you like production companies produced by and like more. It's like, Jesus Christ, man. But we start on a highway in Indiana in 1988, July. Alexis with her two friends Val and Bev are driving to a heavy metal show, but stop at a gas station to get some Twinkies, some gas, and let Val evacuate her tiny bladder.
Because she would be me with a very small bladder.
Yeah, her tiny bladder is going to come up a lot in the movie. But yeah, so while they're paying for everything, the TV playing by the cashier, preacher John Henry Butler, he's preaching about Satanists in our midst and ritual killings, blah, blah, blah. The usual fucking satanic panic bullshit, especially back in the 80s. Well, back on the road, we get more backstory that there have been like 19 killings, all linked back to Satanists and shit.
Yeah.
While the girls are rocking out to just the most generic freaking rock songs, a chocolate milkshake is thrown from a passing blue van onto their windshield. So they pull over, they fucking yell at the people, clean it off, and Val goes and fucking pees again. They arrive at the concert, and
let's back this train up real quick.
What's up?
In this scene, they also are checking to see what is on the fucking window. And this woman literally takes her finger and touches it and then licks her finger. Regardless if you think it, people, is going to be chocolate milk or not, do you really think licking it off of your fucking car is a smart idea? If it was or was not, that's disgusting.
No, it's gross.
Like, that was disgusting.
They arrive, they decide to take shots of Jaeger. Well, Val decides that they take shots of Jaeger. Yeah. Bev wants to be a good girl and not do it, but they talk her into it. She does it, and they start walking. Who takes shots of Jaeger? I've never taken it. I've never done a shot of Jaeger. I've always done shots of Jaeger that are mixed with stuff, like I drop the Jaeger into something. But I've never drank that nasty ass licorice bullshit.
Fucking yeah, dude. It doesn't taste good in any way, shape, or form.
If I'm taking shots of something, I want it to taste good. It's just
Nick. Me and Nick used to do that.
Yeah. While they're walking around towards the entrance, they come across the same blue van. So Val decides to be a little firecracker and throw firecrackers in it, causing the guys inside to jump out. The guys are Ivan, Kovacs. So, yeah, and Mark. They apologize for tossing the milkshake out, mainly the only reason they're apologizing is because it's three attractive girls. Yeah. No, it's not even women. They're three attractive women. That's the only reason that they're apologizing.
Tone changed real quick when they saw that.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? Oh, hello. So the guys offer as a way to apologize some Pabst Blue Ribbon, some PBR. And they drink it, and they tell the girls that this is their last hurrah as a group because Mark is leaving for Los Angeles soon. The guys are obviously interested in these girls, like as any
much like any little
straight
like,
male
stoner, like
with not even like
it is stoner nerdy fucking metalhead Because
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, of course they fucking think they are. They're very attractive fucking women. At a metal show, for that matter.
Yeah. So
they don't
decide
look
to
like
go
a
in.
biker woman that has like like fucking a dental floss as a bikini at this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
that's one of the things that like I noted that like obviously these guys are specifically interested in these girls because if you look at the rest of the women at this show, they kind of look like messes.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't look that bad. I've seen some bad shit. Like.
Well, yeah. Well, you've been to metal shows where it was like the bottom of the barrel. All right. So inside, it's the song "Black Funeral" by Merciful Fate. However, it's not the band that's actually singing it, but that is the song. No. It's "Black Funeral" by Merciful Fate. After the show, Alexis invites the boys back to her father's empty mansion. When they arrive, it's just pretty much just them driving and there's nothing going on. But did you notice anything when Alexis got out of the Jeep? There's two things about this Jeep, and you being a car guy, specifically a Jeep guy, you should have noticed these things.
On the Jeep?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of stickers on the back. I didn't notice anything special about that Jeep other than the fucking Twinkie thing. It looked like it was lifted.
What year is this movie?
Oh, fuck, you are right.
1988.
That's model? A 1990s Jeep.
Yep, that's a Jeep Cherokee XJ, right. 97 to 2001 model. All they did was change the emblem and the tires back to an older one. More importantly, when
I didn't notice that. You are right. That's a good find.
When Alexis got out of the car, I had to rewind a couple of times because I was like, what the fuck is that light? There's a blue LED light blinking on the top of the windshield by like the rear view mirror.
Oh, like it's a goddamn alarm.
Yeah, alarm or Bluetooth or something. Yeah, they didn't even bother covering that up. I was like, come on, man, you can do so much fucking better. But this is the type of shit when I have to watch these movies so much, I end up picking up on all these things.
Actually, that was a good find. I didn't think of that at all.
I would figure if anyone would notice this shit, it would be you. You are the Jeep guy.
That's true, but I wouldn't notice it for the time period of like, oh, they said it's 88. That's a fucking 90 something. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have looked that hard at that. Yeah. I was just looking that it was a Jeep.
All right. So now they're walking around the house, looking at this giant fucking 80s mansion. It's not that big. It's pretty big.
It's a nice mansion.
Yeah. I wouldn't even call it a mansion. I feel like it's just like a really big house. Yeah.
Someone that would be embezzling money.
So Bev and Mark seem like they're into each other, but the more time they spend together, the more she seems to be like keeping her distance. Bev looks pretty freaked out, but Alexis tells Bev that she needs to stop being antisocial because she just like up and like I think Mark was trying to talk to her and she just went okay and like walked away.
And
yeah, so Alexis was like, you need to stop being antisocial. She understands that she's the new person in the group, and even though her and Val tease her, she's really happy that Bev decided to like join them. So Alexis grabs some drinks, heads outside, and then Bev goes to follow, and Mark bumps into her, spilling drinks all over her. And as a good guy, because Mark seems like he's like
they all do.
The dudes in general give you the feeling that they're good guys.
Yeah, they don't even really seem that pervy. They just, you know what I mean? They just seem like horny rocker dudes that are might be getting a break. At best, the drummer, what was it? The drummer dude, Mark? At best, the guy Mark got a very pretty boy look to him, so he might be used.
If he got rid of that terrible fucking mullet,
I had that mullet, man.
It's like, but yeah, so he apologizes, and because it's cold out, he offers up his coat so that she can stay warm. It's really nice, but she finds a switchblade in the pocket, which kind of freaks her out. So he takes it, and he's all like, it was my brother's. So they head out. Yeah. So Alexis hands the drinks to the guys, and they decide to start playing Never Have I Ever. This goes on for a little while.
Games like that.
And then the girls reveal that they drugged the guys. And then
they do it in a very sly way.
Yeah.
With the whole never have I ever. And then you get a really
Yeah.
good dramatic scene with some good acting in it.
Yeah.
Of
When Ivan is all like,
realizing.
yeah, he's like, but no, you didn't do that. You wouldn't do that. And
I was
Kovacs,
like, you didn't catch that when they fucking said it, you moron?
Kovacs going, well, you don't need to drug us to have sex with us. And they're like,
Yeah.
you thought we were going to have sex with you? Well, I mean, yeah.
Didn't read the room, buddy.
But yeah, so everyone passes out. The first one to pass out was Mark, because apparently he's done a whole lot of stuff, so he just had to keep drinking. So he was the first one to pass out. The girls drag the guys into the house, and I don't think, yeah, they just take their shirts off and tie them up, right? They still have pants on.
Yeah, no,
right?
they have pants on. They're not, they're not.
And then throw water in their face to wake them up. It's at this point that the girls tell them that they're going to murder them and make it look like a satanic cult killing.
Ritual. We haven't seen this plot line done a million and one times.
Really, the girls didn't say it. It's more Mark figures it out. So it's clear Mark isn't the dumb one in the group. The girls are part of the Daughters of the Dawn Church, and the church has murdered 18 people in the same way in order to create fear and send more people to their religion.
Congregation.
Which,
because sheep like to flock together.
Yeah. It's at this point you can tell Alexis is clearly batshit fucking insane.
Oh my god. And
it helps with her fucking eyes.
Her eyes, yes. I'm glad that we were both immediately thought of that. It brings us to her eyes.
It's like when she widens
blue eyes.
Yeah, when she widens them
up,
it's like bitch blink.
Like I was like, oh my god, this bitch is fucking nuts.
Yeah, and she goes
she's
especially
like
crazy.
That down with her legs around you and be like, you ain't going nowhere, bitch.
Yeah, and she goes particularly crazy when Ivan starts questioning her religious beliefs and Christianity and how all of it's like bullshit and just there to make people scared and fearful.
There's not wrong.
She doesn't like that, so she stabs him in the fucking neck. And dude, the blood spurt that's just like going everywhere with the two dudes freaking the fuck out because Ivan's in the middle of them. It's Kovacs, Ivan, and then Mark. And he was stabbed on Mark's side, so when she pulled it out, it's like spurting towards him. So he bleeds to death. That's like the one time where it's like, okay, I can see a death happening that fast. There's other ones where I'm just like, you wouldn't die that fast.
All of them died except for him fast.
No,
Kovacs took a while to die.
Yeah.
Which if anyone's gonna die, that guy. Like we'll get into that, but the amount of wounds that that guy had, and he already passed out once. Like what the fuck? Yeah. You're dead, dude.
Yeah. Just as Alexis is about to stab Mark, because I think he was questioning the religion too, and she was like something like, you don't have something smart to say or something like that. I don't remember. But Bev
basically
stops,
catch him up, and then they didn't like that very much.
Yeah, so Bev stops Alexis from stabbing Mark, and she decides to call a team meeting. Like, let's go, everybody, team meeting. So she brings him to the bathroom. Alexis is yelling at Bev, and fucking Val goes to take a piss again.
Wait,
like she has to. What is it? So it's at this point Mark tells Kovacs to get his belt buckle and cut the restraints, which they do. And when the girls come back downstairs because they can hear noise happening, Alexis yells at Bev, and they go downstairs. I really like this scene, this kind of like getaway scene, because I love when they're running. They go to run to the door.
Yeah.
But I think Alexis slams into the door, shutting it. So they turn around to run. No. It was Alexis, because it was Mark and then Kovacs was behind him. Mark was at the door and Kovacs was behind him. So when Alexis shut the door, Kovacs turned around to run, and Val swiped at him with the switchblade and cut his arm. Which, he was bleeding a lot for an arm cut. I don't know if there's arteries or something there. that would cause that much
Where
bleeding.
that would be, but here, I mean, that would just be. I mean, depending on how deep it is.
Yeah, because like they didn't show how deep it was, but it's not like she had a whole lot of space. It was kind of like she was reaching for it, and he was trying to dodge it and got cut. So that's why I was like, I don't understand the blood. But they run back into the kitchen and around the island. So Kovacs, they run around, and then Mark grabs a baking sheet and just whacks Alexis in the head with it. But it's a baking sheet, like it's not gonna hurt. And instead of doing a thing where it's like, oh, she's knocked out, it's clearly like a stub toe type deal where like it doesn't hurt, it doesn't really do any damage, but it's just like you get hit and you're like, oh, you motherfucker, you know, like it's smarts moment. And I thought that was really funny because it's like, while she's like that, they go to run into the pantry, the walk-in pantry. I don't remember what the fuck these things are specifically called. But before Mark goes in, Val is running towards him, and he just swings and pops her in the head, and she just fucking falls down like a fucking bag of trash. They shut the door and lock themselves in.
Again.
When Val decides that she's going to take charge, and she's like, get out of the way, get out of the way. And then this tiny,
jumps
5
into the
foot
door.
2 just jumps trying to shoulder block the door.
Bounces off of it.
And she just falls. It was so fucking funny. It was like the perfect place for like a slapsticky type moment, because you don't need a lot of this in this movie. But to have something like that to kind of like break the tension, because I'm pretty sure that's like the only time you get that is there. Like a slapsticky moment. You'll get like a couple of comedy things.
Chuckles. They're chuckles more than comedy.
Yeah. So, but like all of the slapsticky stuff that we get in the comedy is from Val, which is why I like her the most out of like all the people in like the bad group. Alexis orders Bev to go to the barn to find something to break down the door. The barn looks like a goddamn fucking murder barn.
Because it probably is a murder barn.
Yeah. You can tell Bev doesn't want to do this. Like she really doesn't want any part.
She doesn't feel comfortable from the beginning.
Yeah. At this point, which I think you find out later on. At this point, what I was assuming was during the Never Have I Ever game, you find out that she was arrested. And that she was arrested for shoplifting. So I'm assuming that she was homeless and the church took her in.
So the backstory with that is it seemed like she was one of the... If you listen to towards the ending with the newscaster about the Daughters of Dawn, that was set up, I guess, by the church congregation to help wayward women.
Yeah.
That, like, so she would probably one of like in a delinquent home or something like that.
Yeah.
Because of getting in trouble or not having a steady home. They scooped her up, and if you remember, what's her name, Alex's fucking character, told her, "Oh, we've been with you forever. Why would you do this?" You know what I mean? Like, because they were grooming her. They would groom these girls from the halfway houses and shit like that.
You mean like how religions do?
Yeah, well, that's kind of why they're culty.
But yeah, so she wants to do this because it's like her home and they've built themselves as her family, but like she doesn't want to do it because she knows it's wrong.
Because it's fucked up.
Yeah. So Val and Alexis are still trying to get the guys to come out, and I love this scene. It's Val just like bent over,
oh god,
with her head between her legs, stroking the beer bottle, offering a threesome. It's super hot in like a scared boner sort of way.
in like a very sadistic way.
Yeah, like you know these women are gonna kill you, but they're super hot.
100%.
And they're offering a dream. But so while she's doing that, Alexis is just pacing back and forth angry, and she was just like, you know, it's against like Alexis's beliefs, but she'll do it this one time. But she's just like walking back and forth. Because we're gonna believe that. Yeah. But it wasn't even like oh it's like it was funny that it's like Val is resorting to whatever she can to get these guys out so that she can stab them, where Alexis is just fucking angry and Bev is just gone. I feel like Bev's been gone for like 2 hours. because it's like a whole lot of shit happens, and then all of a sudden, like, she's back. Alexis finds bug spray under the sink and starts spraying under the door to poison them, right? That was bug spray. But it seems like it was a lot, right?
It was. That is a comical amount of that, because I said the same thing. And it filled a room like you were like a James Bond fucking villain filling a fucking room. No, I was like, yeah, it doesn't work. It would be a good flamethrower.
Kovacs is still bleeding from his arm, even though Mark tied a whatchamacallit, I think a power cord around his arm to like kind of stop the bleeding. And then he starts puking up blood or something. And then Mark, the smart one, decides to grab some rags and like block the bottom of the door so it stops the poison. And this is when like I saw the amount of blood coming out of Kovacs that I'm like, I don't know if he was cut that deep. Like, we never saw the cut. We see the swipe where he gets cut, but it seems like it was just the tip cutting him. Yeah. So it's like just I never really understood all of that. Susan, Alexis, the stepmother, comes home to retrieve a passport and do some coke, and then tells the girls as she's leaving, she called the police because there was a strange blue van in the back of the house and the lights were on. As Susan's leaving, right? Yes, Susan's leaving, and she's just like, I don't care, and she's gonna leave. Then she hears a bottle breaking from the other room.
Pantry, yeah.
And that's when she gets angry and turns around and fights her way past Alexis, which was like the saddest like fight.
Dude, she was kicking his ass. Like, I don't know if it had to do with like she was doing like a woman, but she was like doing some fucking Krav Maga crap. Like, what the fuck was that?
She was like moving like a hold me back, bro, hold me back. And I didn't understand why, like, just like spin around, push her out of the way. I don't fucking know. But then she
ass kicked.
Yeah, then she finds Ivan's body tied up and you know, bled to death. And I think she turns around and like starts yelling at her and it's like, I'm gonna tell your father, blah blah blah. Oh, on top of calling the cops, she called her father. So Alexis stabs her in the stomach. And then she falls over and dies.
If you ever wanted to double down, let's just double down like that. Like, that's not going to lead back to you, but...
Yeah, but still, it's like she stabbed her in the stomach and she immediately died. As an EMT, how long...
You can die. You can die. I mean, it might not be
within 5 seconds? She died in 5 seconds.
No. It's a movie.
From a switchblade.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things like she could have like gotten further away, but instead she got stabbed, collapsed, died.
There's a lot of discrepancies in real life things for that movie, but it's a movie. Yeah. It's entertainment.
Bev looks around. Bev is still in the barn. So all of this stuff is happening. Bev is still inside the fucking barn, just walking around.
She's investigating like Nancy fucking Drew.
Yeah. So while looking around, she finds some like real estate photos, some new newspaper clippings of, I think, the murders, the satanic murders. And then deeds to properties, and realizes that it's not about helping people. It's about milking money from the congregation. She also finds a whole bunch of stacks of $100 bills, which didn't exist until 2006.
What, man?
Those $100 bills. They were the big fathead centers. In 88, really? Those bills didn't exist. That was 2006. That's when the redesign happened.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Like, you could have just printed fake money. Like, I'm sure there's, like, something somewhere. But now the guys...
When they find, like, the old fucking newspapers and stuff, come on, you can figure this out.
Yeah. So the guys are now armed with glass bottles, and they're ready to make a break for it. Alexis uses a makeshift blowtorch and stops them from getting out. They go right back in to the closet, shut the door, lock it, and now Ivan is still losing a shit ton of blood.
And then they break glasses to use.
Oh no, they did that before. So now they're pretty much just hiding in there again. This is when the police officer shows up, and Alexis gets pissed that the cops are here, even though she was already told that the cops are going to be here. So it's like you could have done something, like, but she didn't. So the cop arrives. She goes outside to deal with that, but she is acting shady as shit. She tells him that yeah, her stepmother was here, but she left.
This part bothered me a lot.
Then she's like, oh, well, she's sleeping upstairs.
Yeah.
So he questions it, like, and a good investigator would do. Like, well, you just said this. Like, well, she was tired, so she decided to sleep, and she's gonna go. So he goes, I'm gonna need the CID, and to prove
Clearly
that, like, you live there.
It. Yeah, really should have it at that moment.
And then he goes, I'm also gonna need to speak to your stepmother. And just the way that Daddario looks at him and goes, no. And he's like, excuse me? She's like, no. It's like, it was like the best Karen performance like I've ever seen. And then he tells, it's like, you're being super suspicious, put your hands on the car. And
my thing about
instead of doing that, she runs away.
My thing about that is, like, I know in light of everything that's going on in the real world right now, apparently cops don't like to go into buildings that they're fucking trained to go into, but this guy just goes in. He just goes in, no idea who's in there. You already got a suspicion this woman's doing something wrong, could be a burglar. The woman's nowhere to be seen, that called, it might be suspicious. Goes in. I'm like, no, they would have waited outside. They would have waited outside and waited for at least one more person so someone doesn't murder me.
My thing was he didn't even call. Like, he didn't call it in.
The other thing, he never even radioed it in. I was like, what the fuck, bro? You don't let anyone know where you're at. And you hear his radio not go off the whole time.
Yep.
You don't hear him say anything.
I love her comical Looney Tunes way she, like, runs back in the house.
Runs off, yeah.
Because you know she's wearing, like, boots with, like, big, thick heels, so it's probably not the easiest thing to fucking run around in. But yeah, so she runs back into the house. The cop chases her. She goes and hides. That's when the cop is like, hey, come out, please, blah, blah, blah. Kovacs and Mark come out of the thing, and Mark is pleading with the cop to get them out of there, that Kovacs is hurt and he's bleeding. He needs to go to a hospital. He tells the cop, like it's these fucking girls. They're crazy. They already killed one of our friends. They're trying to kill us. Instead of the cop realizing that something is fucking wrong, these guys look hella beat up. One of them is like bleeding, and then the sketchy bitch just ran back in the house and hid. Me as a police officer would take them outside as fast as possible. Instead, he goes, no, I'm gonna handcuff you guys, because whatever. And then somehow Val sneaks up on him, takes his gun, and shoots him in the head. How did this chick... like, she sneaks up on you? She's wearing boots too. There's tile all over the house. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. But that happens. She shoots him in the head, but Alexis and Val fight over the gun. I think Alexis keeps calling Val a retard. She's like, don't be retarded. And she's like, don't call me that. And then she tries to take the gun. She's like, no. And she's like, well, you're being retarded. She's like, stop calling me that. And she just keeps like wiggling away. But again, it's Val is like the comedy there. Just like, cause she's not like just like taking the gun and like holding it away. It's like every time she goes to like grab it, she just like moves her arm a little bit. She's like, no. And even when she's like trying to like reach around her and everything and like climb on top of her to get the gun, she's like, no, and everything. So it's just, I really liked the Val character. They fall to the ground, they knock the gun over, and as they're about to grab it, Bev shows up again finally with an electric outboard motor. No, it's not electric. It's gas.
It's gas-powered outboard.
Yeah, she would have to have it plugged into a fucking outlet for it to be an outlet motor. I'm assuming an electric one. So she steps on the gun, holds them at bay, and she's like, no, I'm getting the guys out of here. This is wrong. We're not fucking doing this. Alexis tries to convince Bev that they're doing the Lord's work. But Bev knows. Yeah, but Bev knows what her father's really doing. And she just wants
honestly, I feel like,
I feel like Alexis knows too, right?
Yeah.
She had I don't know. I don't think
I feel like the
Val
two of them
knows.
kind of knew. Nah, I think like they kind of suspected. You know,
No,
that's
I
why
just-
they're doing.
I just
doing
know-
that.
I know that Alexis knew, because it's like before she even said what was happening, she was like, "No, you're lying," and everything.
In
And
a
it's
very
like,
odd way.
yeah, it's like Val does protest too much. Bev tries to help Mark and Kovac out, but it's at that point that they decide to make a break for it. And I think it was Kovacs that like stabs her in the back with the beer bottle, but
Yeah.
she's got
accident.
what's
Well,
his
not
face's
on
jacket
accident,
on.
but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Mark
Didn't
realizes
know.
that like she's there helping, so to like stop.
Like, dude, wait, you're killing our hope.
Kovacs apparently is not going to last much longer. He's losing a lot of fucking blood and has to go to a hospital. But they don't have keys. So, because I think
Isn't
they
that always
slashed the
the case?
tires to the van.
Yes.
so-
Val slashed the tires of the van when they passed out.
Yeah. So, Bev tells Mark that Alexis has the keys. So Mark goes after Alexis. My thing though, couldn't they have just taken the cop car?
How would they have gotten the keys to the cop car?
The keys are either still in the ignition
Oh,
in
the
the cop
dead
car,
guy.
or they're on the cop.
They're with the guy. Yeah, they're with the cop.
But
So they
then
didn't want to
that-
go back in.
But still, that means Val ran to the basement. Alexis ran upstairs. They can just go right into the kitchen that they're 2 steps away from, get the keys out of his pocket, get into the cop car, drive away.
Yeah, I guess
Right?
so, in a grand scheme of things.
But instead, it's like, nope, gotta split up. We gotta Scooby-Doo this shit and split up.
I mean, the dude was dying, so.
Yeah. So what is it? Yeah, Mark goes after Alexis. Bev stays with Kovacs for like a minute, and then the power gets turned off because Alexis starts blasting a fucking banger of a song by Belinda Carlisle, "Heaven Is a Place on Earth." Then Val shuts the power off from the basement, so that's why Bev goes downstairs.
Then
She wants
they
to get that
duke it
power.
out.
Yeah. So Mark is searching upstairs. Bev is downstairs. Kovac sees lights outside driving up. So he struggles to get himself outside. And that's where we find the pastor that was on TV, John Henry Butler, played by Johnny Knoxville, who is Alexis's father.
Dun dun dun.
What is it?
He convinces him that he's not. Oh, you know, I'm here. Yeah, let me help you.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
So yeah,
And then
he's like,
kills him.
go. I have a phone in the car.
Go to the car.
Go call the cops, but give me the gun. Like, go and I'll do that. So as he's handing him the gun, he shoots. Like as he gets it, as he hands Butler the gun,
Went over it.
he's like, "Hey, don't I know you?" And then he shoots him. Val attacks Bev down in the basement, but Bev lights as she's being choked out. Bev lights Val's hair on fire because her hair is nothing but fucking hairspray.
Because
It's the 80s.
it's Aquanet. Everybody,
Yeah.
you see it all in the beginning. She's spraying that fucking
all
Aquanet in her
fucking over
hair.
the place. Mark
Basically
gets the
fuel.
Mark gets the keys, but is then attacked by Alexis. He loses the upper hand, and Bev gets the power back on, which distracts Alexis, allowing Mark to get the upper hand on her. And it's at this point, what's his face? Actually, before the power's on, Butler, John Henry, fucking what's his name? Knoxville is walking around the house, going for like getting himself a drink and
A
stuff.
beer, he gets a fucking cookie, sits at the
Yeah.
dead cop and just shakes his fucking Alexis. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, they've been definitely doing this for a while.
Yeah. And yeah, so like all that's going on, then the power gets turned back on. Mark gets the upper hand, and Kovacs crawls back into the house as what's her face? Bev comes up and sees him. He tells her that the pastor is in the house and knows he's gonna die, so he's just like, save Mark.
Yeah, he kept on saying just to save him.
Yeah, so she goes to help him, which it seems like it's a while, but whatever. Timing. Who is it? So then we go upstairs. Mark is on top of Alexis, choking her out. when Knoxville shoots him in the back.
And like it's like kind of like the shoulder lung area.
Yeah. So Alexis gets up, and then Knoxville just starts berating her for doing such a shit job of murdering these people and covering it up. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is going on? But then he tells her he's gonna have to make some sacrifices and to get out of this predicament, because apparently he specifically chose this house and his daughter to do this job because I guess authorities were getting too suspicious.
Which I didn't make any sense. It'd make it more suspicious for it to be at your house, as if you would be part of it.
Yeah. So he starts choking Alexis to death when Bev comes in, and I think just hits him in the head with the
back of the fucking thing. No,
right? Like she just knocks him out.
I think so. Yes. Walking simulator.
I don't know if they do anything else to him, right? They knock him out, and then that's it. They don't shoot him, right?
Leave. No, they leave.
Yeah.
I don't think they had any more bullets. She picks up Mark. They get down the staircase.
Because it's like he survives, but it's like, why would you leave him alive? You know, that's why it's like I feel like they might have done something to him. I'm completely fucking spacing. I cannot for the life of me.
No, I don't think they did.
Remember.
They knocked him the fuck out.
But yeah, so Alexis thanks Bev for saving her, and Bev tells her to fuck off. Now Alexis is all fucking batshit crazy, and tries to choke Bev out. But during their I don't even want to call it a fight because it's so sad. Alexis trips over Mark's outstretched arm and falls out the window. Mark is still alive. Bev helps him up. They get outside and they drive away, only to find Alexis standing in front of in the road, and Bev just revs the engine and then runs over Alexis off camera. This is probably the lamest kill in the whole
honestly,
thing.
It was the shittiest fucking ending.
Yeah.
There's no way you're walking from that. There's no way you're waking up off that.
She landed on her head. She would be out fucking cold.
It's fucking terrible. The ending fucking blew. There was no real good ending to that.
Well, because then it's like Knoxville. What is it? What's that chick's name? Bev is in, I think, the same gas station that they were in at the beginning, right?
And the same guy that was very nice to them.
So it was the same guy.
Yeah, he was watching.
He's watching the news, and Knoxville survived. Yeah, Knoxville survived. He's claiming he's making himself a victim.
My poor daughter got wrapped into it.
Yeah, he's claiming his daughter got wrapped up in a satanic cult called We Summon the Darkness. And then Bev she watches the broadcast, looks at the dude, and just looks at him, smirks, and goes, "You shouldn't believe everything you see," and then gets in the car and drives off to the sweet jams of Heart and Soul by Tapao. And then that's how the movie We Summon the Darkness ends. It ended with such a wet fucking blanket fart. I hated it. I hated the ending so bad. I would have preferred everyone die.
Or even show him getting hit. Something.
Yeah. I'm sure they didn't show the hit because some of the fun facts, if IMDb is to be believed, it was filmed in 16 days.
Yeah.
So if this was in fact filmed in 16 days, I'm sure it was a budgetary time reason that they didn't show it, because they'd probably have to do a whole bunch of extra shit that they just didn't have time for. So I mean, I can understand that, but it's just her fucking smirk at the fucking come on, man, really? That's it?
They could have done better with it. Yeah, that's what I mean. The script was, they really didn't, because this is a lot of fucking movies though.
Yeah.
This whole entire thing rearranged in one way or another. It's the same fucking thing over and over again.
But yeah, so the fun facts for this surprisingly, usually these go for 2 hours. we're at the hour mark and we're done with the movie. Now it's just fun facts and our thoughts.
Yeah, it really wasn't that big of a movie, and it really wasn't that. It wasn't a great movie. It really wasn't.
Yeah. So the fun facts
What do we got?
are the film was filmed in 16 days, like I said. In the original script, Alexis' stepmother was actually supposed to be her biological mother, which I don't know why that would be changed or why that would be important. Like, I don't get it. Director Mark Myers shot this back to back with another film called Human Capital.
Really?
So at the same time he was shooting this, he was shooting something else.
Oh, you can explain why this fucking script sucked.
Yeah. The stunt woman who goes out the second story window was paid $1,000 each time she did it. She only did it
for
twice.
her. She only did it once?
Twice. She's like, I'm done after 2. The parking lot scene at the concert, that was inspired by the documentary short Heavy Metal Parking Lot from 1986 about heavy metal fans outside a Judas Priest concert.
Oh, okay.
Concert scene, Black Funeral by Merciful Fate is being played, but the lead singer and band members do not resemble the actual band.
No, they use those all the time in movies.
The character Kovacs, who's a huge metalhead, the actor that played him is also a huge metalhead, Logan Miller.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. And really the only other thing was the pantry door in the kitchen was actually led to the basement stairs. So the inside pantry, like anything shot inside the pantry was shot at a completely different location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's like all I got. There's like next to no information really about any of
that
these.
kind of sucks.
Okay, I want this time I want to go into what I liked and didn't like about this before you. Okay, my Reptar shirt. So,
by the way, senor, my lovely son has taken a liking to what you do with these Hawaiian shirts.
Hell yeah, bro. Dude,
Hawaiian shirts are hella fucking he likes those
comfortable.
Hawaiian shirts so much. I'm like, yeah, I know. He's like Uncle fucking Sean with all those Hawaiian shirts now.
Oh yeah.
So he looks around, little man, all dressed up all the time, going to school.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking love Hawaiian shirts.
I'm getting the horror ones for stream. I'm telling you.
Like right now, who is that? Was that Creepy Co? Something like that?
What? Oh, that I sent you?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I just found that.
I think they're the only ones right now that do it. A horror clothing people fucking make Hawaiian shirt stuff. Make them like good quality. I have a bunch of them, but some of them are like not very good quality. They have more of that super polyester feel.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. But yeah, so that is the end of this movie. What I liked about the film was the acting was great. Like across the board, everyone's performance was really fucking good. The cinematography was really good. The costume design was awesome. The majority of the kills were really cool. I think the only lame ones were like Alexis's death off camera and what is it? The stepmom's death.
Stepmom, I can see that.
Because she got stabbed in the stomach, went and fucking died. It's like at least in like Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, when fucking Pee Wee Herman is stabbed.
You're gonna wish you died. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ah,
He died.
Yeah, she just went, "Oh, you stabbed me," and then it was like I didn't like it. The soundtrack was great. There wasn't a lot. I think there were a total of like 4 songs. One of them was the song at the concert, and then the other 2 were Belinda Carlisle and T'Pau. And usually when I watch like films like this, if the soundtrack is good, I'll add the songs like to my rotation of music.
Yeah.
But those two songs were already in my rotation.
There you go.
I fucking listen to them when I'm working out. I listen to them when I'm on a long fucking drive. What I didn't like was the script. I knew what they were going for. Like, I knew what it was gonna be. I knew who the villains were gonna be from the very start of the movie. It's like, if you go by just the log line of what the movie is, it's a night at a 1980s heavy metal concert hits a grisly note when new friends find themselves in the middle of a satanic murder spree.
Yeah.
That could be these people just met, and then there's another killer. There's someone going after him. However, when the film starts and you're introduced to the three main ladies, Alexis and Val scream sex appeal.
Yeah,
they
didn't make her sexualized in the movie.
And it's like, I don't even think they made them sexualized. There are people that just ooze that.
It. Yeah.
And Val and Alexis just ooze it.
That
whereas
Mochibo.
Yeah, whereas Bev just screamed like Final Girl, like a Laurie Strode from Halloween. It's like she just gave off that vibe from the very beginning. So you go, okay, well, Bev's obviously going to be the final girl, and Alexis and Val will probably die. Like, that's okay, whatever. But then you meet the guys, and you immediately get these guys are fucking goobers. Like, these aren't the killers. So now you're like, oh, these girls are probably the fucking killers. And then it's like,
after a while, you're like, nah, there's something more to these chicks.
That's 20 minutes into the film. So now you got the whole rest of the film fucking figured out. Like, and the fact that they put such an emphasis on Bev and Mark. Like, you already knew most likely it was going to end with those two surviving.
Surviving or together.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like, it sucks because I see this a lot in movies. I watch a lot of movies. I play a lot of horror games. I play a lot of games in general. I'm a screenwriter. So seeing this from the get-go, I can figure out how shit plays. Like, I know what the things are going to be. But it also sucks because it's like, I want to be surprised, but it ends up being such lazy, predictable writing, and they're just hitting certain cues that it fucking ruins it for me. But at the same time, I can't
not watch it.
While I was writing this whole thing, I was trying to think, how would I have changed it? And I don't know. I don't know if having
more script.
I don't know if like having like none of the women or the guys be the killers,
and it'd be like Knoxville,
having it be Knoxville, and then like what's it called, Alexis not knowing,
finding out, and being like, hey, well, come on, how do you think we get all this stuff?
And then he goes to kill her anyway.
A much better one.
Or Alexis doesn't know and Val knows and she's helping because she's fucking Knoxville. Or if you find out that Alexis isn't Knoxville's daughter, but actually his lover.
Oh, true.
Right? Like, there's different ways, but it's just like, oh, well, it's this. Or not having Mark survive. Because the whole time it's like he's going to LA. It's like his brother died, so he wants like a new start. He wants this, blah, blah, blah. So it's like he's got to live. He's got this thing, but to have him die and instead Kovacs live.
Yeah.
You know, like that could have worked a little bit better, but it's like from 20 minutes in, you knew Bev and Mark were going to live and that Alexis and Val were the bad guys. And it's like, from like the first 20 minutes, you're just like, no, well, all right, well, there's that. It's like, I guess I'll just watch the rest of it.
That's what I mean. I kind of found myself drifting off on the movie. Like, I wasn't really invested into it because it wasn't, the script wasn't holding me in.
Yeah. So.
And you're right. That is definitely one way of changing it up. Having the murderers be different than of overly seeing. Like, you could foreshadow a lot of it.
Because like it could have even been like if it was either just Alexis or just Val.
Could have, yeah.
When you know, like they're gonna like fuck around and like drug the guys and everything, like still have that be a thing, but have it be where like what's her face, Alexis drugs everyone.
Oh, and then yeah, that would be a good idea.
You know, or Val does it because like you would think that it's Alexis because of her crazy crystal fucking glass blue eyes, but it ends up being Val and everything, and like she drugs everyone, so like when they wake up it's like everyone's like that. It's just like there were other things that could have been done, but they made it like just this bog standard. I don't like it.
Seen it so many times, type of fucking deal. That's what
it's
got
like
me.
If I gave it some, I'd probably give it like a 3.
I was gonna give
5.
it a 4.
Yeah,
I was gonna give it a 4 only because like it was entertaining. The entertainment was there, but the script lacked a lot.
Yeah, I could probably bump it to a 4.
You know what I mean? I felt it wasn't that bad for me.
Yeah, I guess. So like, what were the things that you liked and didn't?
It was very, the movie was shot well, so a lot goes for the way it's shot for me. Even in like those great, like Hell House, it was a found footage, but I got to see what the fuck I was watching. So like, I like visual stuff. So it was visually good. They picked good actors. I think the actors were very good for the roles that they were designated for. Besides those fucking eyebrows, but I felt they didn't go too far into the backstory of the preacher, or at least the dad, for you to be more in grips of like what exactly the cult is going, why they're killing and stuff, other than just saying it. You know, this is why we're doing this. I would have liked to have something in it that all that other boring, like the boring ends of it that I just got, annoyed with, would have been better. Acting was definitely not bad. I think I said that one already. Soundtrack's a good soundtrack for me. I like that. I like their soundtrack.
So really, it's like from both of us, it's script. It
has to be the script. I mean, like they had a good idea, but they just went off the same idea that everybody does. You need to twist it up.
You gotta wonder how many
writers they had on it.
Well, they had the one writer, but how many revisions? Because there's so many fucking production companies. Let me pull up the IMDb and see how many. Because like the intro was just like fucking hell, man. Like,
there was a lot.
You don't need that many fucking production company like things.
Or put it at the end.
Yeah.
The kill scenes weren't bad, but there weren't a lot of them. So you know what I mean? I really don't classify it as an gore. It was just good, the one that you had.
There were only
6 actors, really.
Yeah, there were only 3 people. Like it was the guys.
Yeah.
So 6 total. 2 of them were going to survive no matter what.
So coming off of that, I mean, it was okay, but the fight scenes were terrible. They didn't really make any sense especially with what Alexis fighting, what's his name, Mark or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really understand that. Like, I'm not saying that women cannot fight. I'm not saying that little girl can't pack a punch. I'm just saying this dude has his shirt off, looking ripped as fuck.
Yeah.
And this very skinny, very top heavy, very light looking woman is beating your ass right now, bro. Like, I mean,
she looks like she weighs all of like 95 pounds.
Yeah, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You're fighting for your life right now, and you're like getting your ass handed to you. I was like, that could have went a different way. You could have still made it that she won. Maybe she got to a weapon or something, but it made no sense. Knoxville, I mean, he had a very small part, and I really thought when I picked it the second time, actually, that he had a bigger part. That there'd be more of him in it, and it really wasn't. Like, he was a very minute part in a very big part of the main storyline. Like, it's basically they're doing this for him, so I wanted a little bit more. But outside that, it was, a 4 on my list.
Dude, they have 21 executive producers.
Damn, that's a lot. Now, are these producers big names in there, or are there a bunch of smaller names combined? But it seems like
8 regular producers where it's like they're labeled as produced by.
Oh, okay.
And then they have a couple of associate producers and everything. Vicious Fun, really the only person in it you would probably know directly off the bat is David, what is his name? Kochner? Kochner?
Oh, I don't know.
He was the sports anchor from Anchorman.
Oh, I love that guy.
I'm gonna mute us
man.
so that we can pull up the trailer.
Need a ride?
As far as I can.
Hop in.
This is what you said to me. A group of serial killers attending a 12-step meeting tried to kill me and my accomplice before disappearing, leaving us with 3 dead bodies?
No, 2 dead bodies.
It's one word, right? Bullshit.
Sorry to interrupt your meeting.
Thanks so much for coming out. How do you maintain your lifestyle and keep your urges under control?
I murdered the same victim repeatedly.
Just give me a mask.
Have you ever bitten into a kidney?
What is this, some kind of support group for serial killers?
Why are you here? It's complicated.
I thought you had our little group sessions on lockdown. Are you Skinner, a slicer dicer, corpse humper?
How did you get in here?
I got drunk at the bar. I passed out in a closet for a few hours, okay?
911.
Yes. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Now, Bonnie told me that people are coming here to try and kill him. And maybe us.
What? Us? Why?
Tony!
It got really messy. I like it messy sometimes.
I'm smack in the face. I'm like a coiled snake.
Gentlemen, we are about to have a lot of fun tonight.
Hey, I didn't even gag.
And that will be the movie that we watch next week, right? It looks good, right?
I'll watch that. It's gonna look. It looks funny. I'll watch that.
No,
on
it
Monday.
is. It's definitely a horror comedy, dude. It's so fucking funny. The music fucking slaps. The fucking main fucking what is it? The basic like Bateman character is so fucking good. But yeah. So that is going to be next week. Thank you everyone for watching. We will be back with Spooky Horror Show next Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time. It'll be up hopefully on Spotify and YouTube and everything probably by Wednesday. Last week's episode was a little bit of a bitch to get through. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night.
Oh, yeah.